Hello, there is a new year and trust us to bring you more in business. I'm Abigail Adomakoenchi. First off, we'll start with Gridco, and the Ghana Grid Company Gridco is embarking on a transmission reinforcement program this year. This comes after the company lost about 5% of the electricity transmitted in 2014. The reinforcement will be done concurrently with the installation of capacitor banks across the country to help reduce losses.
Electric power transmission and distribution losses include losses in transmission between sources of supply and points of distribution, and in the distribution to consumers, including pilferage. During the transmission of electricity, some energy is lost from the transmission system, usually in the form of heat, and the lost energy remains transmission losses. For National Transmitters Gridco, the transmission losses are inevitable, although they could not meet PURC's approved 3.5% losses.
Our losses have ranged between 4 to 5% over the year 2014. And that internationally you would say is not bad. However, it could be improved. One of the challenges with losses on the power system is the distribution of our generation. If you look at it, in the past we had Akosombo and Pong, which geographically is about in the same location. If you look at Ghana and the landmass in Ghana, we have recently had some generation in Tema and then also at Abuadze. But all of this, you would agree with me, is more to the south. It's only recently that we got Bui coming up in the midsection of the country, which has really come to help to stabilize the grid.
Manager of the System Control Center of Gridco, Frank Kotre, explained his outfit was putting in place a number of measures to reduce losses this year.
A few years back, Gridco spent and installed a lot of capacitor banks at various nodes in Achimota, Winneba, Smelter, Kumasi, Bogoso, Sunyani, Techiman, a lot of stations across the grid. We put so much reactive capacity, it will help. In addition to the transmission reinforcements that Gridco is doing. Gridco, on its part, has put in a 330 kV circuit now between Tema and Takoradi. And that has done a lot to reduce losses down south. And it's also positioning ourselves to be a net wheeling for the West African power pool on the sub-region.
Though distribution of power generation remains a challenge, Gridco believes the ongoing installation of more generation stations will also help reduce the losses during transmission. Abigail Adomakoenchi for Joy News.
Now there is some good news for us, as the much anticipated new national airline is expected to take off by March this year. That would happen after accounting firm PricewaterhouseCoopers presents its interim report on the proposed national carrier to government. The firm was contracted in 2014 to work out modalities for a new carrier for the country. Deputy Transport Minister Joyce Bawa Tari confirmed to Joy Business government's plans to have the new airline airborne in March 2015. She said PricewaterhouseCoopers is going to advise on credible strategic investors in the airline. Chances are that it might be an existing airline with a seriously obvious brand. It could also be one of our domestic carriers that is willing to partner government to bring back the airline. She said although the time looks short, government is committed to ensuring the national airliner takes off in March.